Hey guys, Kev here, and I am back from Atlanta, Hotlanta. So if you don't know, I have a knife company. It's Devo Knives. I have a partner, Colin Mason Pierre, CM Knife Designs on Instagram, and together we are Devo Knives. And we had our first knife drop. The pre-order was in April, and we finally got the knives in. I shouldn't say finally, because it was pretty quick for, a pre-order. It was April, and now it's early September, and we have packed, QC'd, shipped all of the orders. We have a pickup scheduled for tomorrow, my time, which is Tuesday after Labor Day, so hopefully when you're watching this, it already has shipped for you if you ordered one. But I wanted to go over the production model of the Stout, show you some stuff, and get into it. So that was kind of what I want to talk about, my trip, all that good stuff. So I live in Pennsylvania outside of Philadelphia. It was a 13-hour drive basically down to Atlanta to QC these knives. Now I chose to drive. I could have flown, I guess, but I thought I might drive back with a bunch of knives. I just prefer to drive, but I think if I do it again, I'll probably fly. Mostly because of the trip back. It was Labor Day weekend, and we finished up packing the last order Sunday night, and 13 hours is a long drive, and I just went for it. It was like 8 or 9 p.m., and I just drove through the entire night, and it was an absolute struggle. I was completely out of it. The last hour was brutal. I almost fell asleep a few times, had to stop. I got some, got something to drink. And I did end up making it safely, of course. And I arrived back home at like 9 a.m., 8:45, 9 a.m. My daughter and wife were literally coming down the stairs when I walked in the door. And I was very happy to see them. And then I went to sleep. So I got like 5 hours of sleep, and now I am up again and feeling, okay. Get some good night's sleep tonight. But anyway, that's kind of the trip there and back. And then while I was there, we had 600 knives from QSP, and we had to QC check all of the pre-order knives. So there were 100 that we ordered extra in a different variant that we didn't QC check because we just didn't find the need since we have the pre-order to fill, and we will take care of that later. So there was 500 knives essentially that we QC checked, and then we had to pack the orders. So we QC checked them all, then we packed and shipped the order for LeftyEDC Supply. They are a online knife dealer. You guys may know them. There's a link in the description of every one of my videos. I have an affiliate link there, and they actually sold 100 of them, 50 of each Micarta version on pre-order. So we QC'd everything, and then we put the LeftyEDC. We actually just QC'd the Micarta. Then we put 50 of each into a box and shipped it off with UPS on Friday. We got that one out Friday before the weekend, because they have to then get the package, then pack your orders and ship them. So we figured it was best to do theirs first, then we could rip through all of our pre-orders direct through the website and ship those right away. So that is what we did. Then the rest of Friday into Saturday, we QC checked the rest of the knives. Then starting mid-Saturday, we started packing 350, 400 orders, because we also had backspacers that were bought individually. And we finished up around 8 p.m. on Sunday night, and then I drove home. So it was a blast. We worked, 14, 15-hour days the whole time, but it was great to spend some time with Colin, and we talked business and everything, which was awesome, and joked around and had fun. We farted a lot, which was great. Yeah. So let's talk about the knives. I know you guys probably didn't care all that much about that. So first, let me show you a production version of the Stout. I don't have a prototype here right now. They're loaned out for review. I gotta, I guess, get those back in. But here she is. This is the black micarta with bead blasted titanium frame, satin hardware, and a stone-washed 20 CV blade. Now, I did use this the entire time, so I cleaned it up last night, but it's still got some tape on it there. This is kind of my trophy from the trip, kind of. Actually, here, I'll show you. Just clean it off with some knife shield. Usually, with knife shield, you can just wipe it right off. And I think I did I? That's good enough. So there she is, all cleaned up. Beautiful stone wash they did on these. I love how it kind of sparkles a little bit. Yeah, they did a great job. The hollow grind is a little bit deeper on these than the prototype, so it does come down to a thinner edge, but not too thin. You know, the prototypes were like 28 thousandths behind the edge. These are, well, they're supposed to be between 18 and 22, and I think they hit that because it feels nice and thin. Yet, it still comes down to a nice sturdy tip, so you don't end up with a super dainty tip or anything, but it's definitely a little less robust than the prototype, which I think is good. It's a really good middle ground, and that's kind of what we wanted. I did put skiffs in this one because I took it apart to show off the Mokutai backspacer, which you can see here. Also looking pretty good on here. Now, this black micarta is going to take in your oils, and, you know, you can oil it if you want. It does look sort of gray initially, so, yes, that is black micarta. So you can see the Mokutai here. You can see some lines in it now. It's really cool when you see it before you put it in. Sadly, you know, you don't get to see these awesome swirls and stuff on the knife, and that's just, I guess, because of how they cut it. You know, you can see nice lines and everything, but it would be cool if you got to see all this beautiful pattern, you know, while you had it on there. But we only were able to do a backspacer because we don't have pivot collars, and the clip is a wire clip. You know, you could try to get a Rips Garage Tech Timascus clip or something. They will fit on here. But that's a look at the backspacer. I have this one out because I want to show you a couple other versions, and I may install that on one of them. But basically, some of the differences from the prototype, we have this cut in here, so you have a little more lock bar access. Before, this was just a straight slab like this. It was just like this side. So you had to kind of get in there and do this. It worked fine, but we wanted to add that access, and it definitely is an improvement in my opinion. I really, really enjoy that. It helps a lot, especially right-handed. I mean, left-handed, you're just going to do this, but you still get that room to get in there, you know. We changed this to a bead blasted frame. Some of the prototypes were stone washed. We updated the clip screw so that it's a much smaller screw, sits a lot deeper. You can see it doesn't, like the one we had before, like really bulbed out to like here. It almost was a problem with the clip. It would stick out so far, but we took care of that. We took care of the spacing so that you can use Lynch and RGT replacement clips. I gotta say, their transitions, I think they're better than on the prototypes. They did an absolutely great job. You have the frame lock cut here. It was rather large on the prototypes. They did a really large chamfer, and what they did was just not chamfer it as much here, so it's just less of a cut there. You can see that looks good to me. One thing they actually messed up is this was supposed to be all T8 and then a T10 pivot. What they ended up doing was T8 pivot. So the whole knife now is a T8 Torx bit. I think most people are actually going to prefer that. So it's kind of a happy accident, but anybody who was expecting the T10, I'm sorry, they kind of messed up there, but it's not a big deal. I think it's fine. What else? We did ask them to knock this corner down right here. They say they did. It's hard to tell. It still feels a little bit aggressive to me. But anybody with, sandpaper in 2 seconds, I guess, could knock that down. But I've never actually felt that in hand or thought it was a problem. So, time will tell on that if anybody is bothered. But, that was something. I think that is. I'm sure there's other stuff that I just can't think of. The steel marking is on the inside of the handle. I'll go ahead and show you that when I take the other one apart. But you can see the action's really good. The detents overall in QC were very good. Just like any OEM project, they're going to vary, especially when you QC 500 of them, you can definitely tell the variance. But if you've ever bought the same knife twice, you know what I'm talking about. So they do vary from this, which is like the high end, very strong, very snappy. I mean, you can see I can miss that pretty easily. This is how I prefer a detent, but some people do not. It also matters where you flick it from. So I noticed when Colin and I were testing them, he would flick more from down here and kind of push out this way. So the detent would almost seem weaker. Where I always go to the top of the hole and kind of flick up. I try to flick up, which kind of makes the detent feel stronger. So I would recommend, if you get one of these, that you flick up like that. You're gonna just have a better time, I think. But that's up to you guys how you flick your knives, I guess. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But yeah, they came out fantastic. So that's the Blackwash Stonewash. This one I want to save for last. That's the version we got that we didn't do on pre-order. And it was because you guys asked for it. So before anybody gets upset, we'll talk about that. But this is the Blackwash with copper carbon fibers. Copper infused carbon fiber. Look at the beauty of this. This is absolutely gorgeous. They did oil the blades a lot. Look at that. Just copper in there. Just absolutely stunning, in my opinion. This is one sexy knife. Look at that action. There is no play. I mean, again, in QC, they varied. You had some that fired out really well, and then they were a shakedown. Like this one's basically a shaker. I did tune it after putting skips, but it's not just drop shot. I mean, it's close, right? And they will break in, so keep that in mind. If you get one and it's not doing this, just keep that in mind. It'll break in. You can tune it. We give you extra hardware so you can do your thing. One other thing I want to note is on some of them, they tighten the pivots pretty tight. Not like tight in the sense that the action was tight, really, but more tight in the sense that the pivot was tight when we tried to loosen them for whatever reason, if we were checking them for something or adjusting something. So just be careful with that. Make sure you have a stubby driver. That's the best way to do it. Test it first if you want, and then if it's really tight, just get a stubby driver to crack that. I don't think it's Loctite because I didn't really notice a bunch of Loctite inside. I think they just used like a drill or something when they tightened it and tightened it really tight, which is normally good because it's not going to walk on you. I don't think these are going to walk. If you just get the knife and you keep it as is, I don't think you're going to have any issue with the pivot walking. So here's this one. You can see fires out. The detent is, to me, feels about the same. Very, very close. So that's the copper. And then, check this out. So they also all ship with a Devo Knives microfiber. They'll be in the bottom of the box like that. I tried to keep the boxes that were a little banged up so you guys didn't get those. But and then inside the pouch, you will get a keychain bottle opener with the Devo Knives logo. You will get your extra set of hardware that comes with the knife, and the knife will obviously come in this, and that will be in your Devo pouch, which is pretty on brand. I think it looks nice. Got that gold tassel. And that'll come in the box like that with the sticker on it. holographic. I didn't take one for myself. Just like that. And then you'll have a coaster in the package with it. So that is the black copper. Now, check this out. So, have another one here. You ready for this? Look at that. So we did end up ordering 100 units with the aluminum foil carbon fiber. So we got 50 black wash like this, and we got 50 with the stone washed blade. So it'll be basically this build, but with these scales instead of the Micarta. Does that make sense? And we did that because when we did the pre-order, a lot of you really liked the aluminum. It was interesting to see how many people really wanted the aluminum carbon fiber. So we ended up adding it to the order, and we are going to sell these separately. So I know some people are going to say, well, I wanted that one. I would have pre-ordered. I know. I totally understand that. I get that you would maybe be a little bit frustrated about that. But we added it because you wanted it. So it's kind of like, you know, we couldn't do 6 versions. We just couldn't afford to. We didn't know how the pre-order would go, right? It went great. Thank you guys so much. But we couldn't have anticipated that and done 6 versions. So we ended up just doing the 4, and we chose the copper because personally, I thought the copper looked better. I think I still prefer the copper. I don't know. The aluminum has grown on me, but the copper's absolutely stunning. So anyway, these will be available. I don't know how we're going to do it yet. We were thinking we just drop them on the website and people could pick them up. Or we may hit up some dealers and see if they want them instead. Or we may, I don't know. And we plan to bring some to Blade Show West. We will be at Blade Show West. Check out table 9E. So I do want to take this apart because I want to add that. And you guys can see the inside of the Devo Stout. So let's see if this pivot is tight like I was talking about. Nope, that one just came loose, see? So it's kind of random what QSP did. We didn't check every pivot because we didn't want to put our tools on every pivot. If the action was good, the action was good. So there does seem to be a little bit of Loctite on there. So they did use some Loctite. I think next time I think we plan to work with them again. We're actually working on a budget, smaller version of the Stout right now. I think we'll ask them to go no Loctite. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys prefer. Would you prefer it be Loctited from factory so it's not going to come loose when you get it? Or are you the type that takes your knife apart and you want it to be able to come free right away? That'd be an interesting question to ask. So the scale comes off there. I've done this before, but I might as well show you. Now, the knife tends to just, once you loosen everything, it tends to just want to come apart, which I think is a good sign of the tolerances. It's not like falling apart. It's just very easy to take apart, if that makes sense. Like the pivot will just fall right out. I mean, it's incredible. So there's the inside. You have the bearings. I might swap those out just to show you how skips go in. Again, I've done that before, but I like to show you guys. So what I would do is this. I'm going to go to my knife pouch where I have my extra hardware. So we went as far as we could for you guys on this, okay? So you get an extra clip. You get an extra pivot. You get an extra, obviously, pivot screw. And then, check this out. Let me show you the comparison here. This is our pivot with our logo on it. Now, some people don't love logos. Some people will avoid a knife because it has a logo. There's no other branding on this knife. We thought that was as low profile as you could go. But we had this idea. We're going to include an extra set of hardware, right? Why don't we make the pivot blank? So, if you are one of those people, you can swap out your pivot and have a blank one. So I hope that covers everybody. And then you'll get a full hardware kit. This has bearings, washers, not stand up barrels. It even has a stop pin which goes through the blade and is press fit. So if you ever need that, you got it. All the body screws, internal, external, I believe they are all titanium. I remember when we put the order in, they said the internal screws would be steel and the external would be titanium. Now, we wanted the external to be titanium because we figured people would want to anodize them or whatever. But I think it ended up that they did everything in titanium, which is good. Obviously, these are going to be steel and stuff. But you have everything, including, which was very important to me, an extra steel lock bar insert. So if you ever have issues developing lock stick or lock up, or even maybe your detent, you could try swapping out that insert or have somebody do it, and you don't have to worry about a bunch of shit because you have all that here. That was kind of the point, was we were hoping that this would one, long-term help people so that our knives last longer, because I don't know, I haven't been around the knife game long enough to know an OEM knife that has been around for 10 years or whatever, what happens? You know, as a brand, yeah, we will try to keep some on hand for warranty. But 10 years from now, will we have extra stouts laying around to replace yours or whatever? I don't know, right? Will we even be around? I'm obviously hoping we'll be doing really well in 10 years. But point is, we tried to get your back here with this, so that if anything happens down the line, you have extra parts, right? So I'm going to shut up now, sorry. I am going to add these bearings in here. So now I got 2 sets of bearings extra because I'm going to put skiffs in. And I know a lot of you are going to ask, well, why didn't you just provide skiffs with the knife? I would love to do that, but the cost and the logistics just, they don't really make sense, considering how many people will actually use them. We would have to, you know, make the knife more expensive, and it's not hard to go order these bearings. They're $12. You can use my code LeftyEDC, and you can get 10% off your bearings, and you know, so $15 ship. Basically, you can have these sent to your door. It's just, I don't know. It made more sense to just not do that. Plus, we'd have to ship them to China, basically, so that they could include them, and I don't know, it just seems difficult. I'm realizing right now I do not have any KPL because I took it to Atlanta and then I left it there. So I'm going to grab my nano oil 10 weight for the bearings, but I do recommend you use KPL or knife pivot loop, or nano oil is really good. I love nano oil. It's just more expensive, and I find it has the same result, and that's why I just kind of go with KPL. And then it's an added bonus that I have an affiliate link and everything with them, so you can use code LeftyEDC over there. Should I swap the washers out? Yeah, they do look. So I usually will reverse the washers so that I get a fresh side for my new bearings. And again, you have extra washers in your hardware kit, so if you want to just swap them instead, so you don't have to think about it, what side they're on or whatever. I'm going to clean this real quick. Did I show you the steel marking? It should be right here. Nope. Where is it? Am I crazy? Thought the steel marking was inside right here. But I could be wrong. It could be under here. Let's check real quick. I'm thinking that's where it is. It's under where? I need to swap the backspacer too. I almost forgot, so that works out. There it is. Sorry. 20 CV right there. I know that that's titanium, but we didn't want to put it on the blade, so there you go. For all of you who wanted the steel marking, you got it. Okay, so let's take this off. I did notice, so the Mokutai backspacer, so you'll see here they have these angled D shapes, and that's how it fits on snugly. So it's pretty precision that they pulled it off. I mean, look at that. That's pretty impressive to me that all of them are lined up like that. Now, the first one I put in, I had to, I had to get it in there. It took a little bit of wiggling. This one just popped right on, so it's going to depend on each situation there. We should have a few backspacers that we'll put up, probably with these aluminum ones. But we'll see, because we don't have that many. And the face hanks, if anybody's curious about the face hanks from the pre-order, the first 100 orders got face hanks with their order. If you ordered multiple knives, you still only got one hank. In maybe some cases, if we shipped them separately, we did one with each. But we did have an extra like 50 hanks or so. So we spread those out throughout the rest of the order. So we tried to just not pick and choose, but like randomly drop a hank in with orders along the way. So you may still get a face hank if you were interested. Some people might just throw it away. That's why we didn't sell them or anything. We just thought it was a fun little thing to do. We did have some extra backspacers that we got from QSP. And I did kind of sprinkle those in too. So you may get a random backspacer. Now, not many of them, but there were, a handful that I kind of just dropped into packages randomly. So just thought I'd mention that because you might get a surprise. But let me shut this. One thing I want to note about QSP that I really like is they do this thing on their, it's hard to see, but they do this thing on their lock inserts. They seem to put these like ridges in. You see those like ridges? I feel like that really helps with lock stick somehow. And I probably jinxed myself, but I'm gonna clean the lock face. Clean the tang. Grabbing the blade like an idiot. Okay. All right, backspacer's on. Everything's on. KPL heavy. So go over to knifepivotlube.com and you can pick up your KPL heavy or original or a 3-pack or the microfiber Q-tips. I love their stuff, guys. Use code LeftyEDC over there. That was too much. Clean that off a little bit. Now I don't have any on there. There we go. Okay. So let's see how she goes back together. It's pretty straightforward the few times I did it while we were QC checking. So you take these screws. Those are going to be your internal frame screws. It's up to you how you want to do it. Some people like to put the pivot in first. I do that in a lot of cases. And this is the one problem with titanium hardware. It doesn't stick to your driver, so you're stuck kind of trying to maneuver it in. And that can suck when you're on camera trying to hold the knife and everything at the same time. So I might just go for the pivot. There we go. Not going to tighten it all the way down, just a little bit. I am going to check the centering and everything, and then I'm probably gonna just Loctite it. I have been using a lot of super glue lately, but in this case I have other knives right here of the same knife. I'm not gonna risk, I don't know what it would be risking, but I don't know, we'll see. Let me just get this done first. Okay, shut it. Centering looks good. Backspacer looks sexy. This is the one I really wanted to see with the back spacer, which is why I'm doing this video, obviously. Tighten these down, make sure they're nice and tight. If you want to take the other one off and tighten those too, you can. Here, I'll show you. Because what happens is you loosen those body screws under there. Come on, go. You loosen those body screws under there, and then they can loosen on this side too. But they usually do tighten down with as you tighten it on the other side. So I'm just being very careful. Oh, one other thing I want to talk about is scales. So I sent a Stout off yesterday. Well, it's in the package. It's in the box with all the other pre-orders. So it'll be shipped tomorrow. We scheduled a pickup for tomorrow. I shipped one off to Carbonize, and he is going to work on getting scales. Getting the scales designed, you know what I mean, sized up and everything. And then you guys will be able to order custom scales to match your Stout. So if you want to, you know, instead of aluminum or instead of micarta, instead of copper, whatever, you could get fat carbon or whatever. So we're working on that right now. I'm kind of in testing with that right now. Let's see. Ooh, nice detent. No play. Ooh, boy. Dead nuts, I'd call it. Dead on nuts. And look at that back spacer. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, she's a looker. She's a looker. All right, so let me see. I'm hoping that doesn't throw off centering because I did it all at the same time. See, now it's kind of all just set together. It's not like trying to jump or anything. So I'm probably just going to take my super glue. Obviously, I'm going to be keeping this knife personally. I think I'll probably keep like 2 or 3. That's kind of the perks, I guess. Okay, way more than I wanted. Clean that off with my hands to be safe. I'm gonna drive this in. No play. Back off a touch. Now it's too late. It's already gluing. Centering is dead on. Detent, money, no play. And those skips are going to break in. No lash, nothing. She's dead on, baby. All right. Oh, I got super glue dropping everywhere. Hold on. And this is why you want to... This is a reason to not use super glue. Is it tends to leak and get on things, and then you're kind of screwed. You got to work really fast with super glue. I recommend Loctite. I just am impatient, so I use super glue, if that makes sense. Let's put this away. Then we can wrap up, talk about it one last time. I know you guys are probably sick of this, but of course I'm going to talk about my knife, right? Let's put this in here. So the one piece you do not get with the hardware kit is a backspacer, but I mean, you get one with the knife, so I think it, you know, it would have been, I think they were like gonna charge us $5 each for a backspacer, which, you know, to the customer is like $10. So I always like to put this in with the pouch of the knife, so that way you know what bearings you put in. I know most people, you're gonna know, but like, it's just good to do that, I think. Let me put this away. Driver, put this here. I'll bring the other knives back in. I did not put a backspacer on the copper because personally I just don't think that will look good. So you have black micarta, bead blast, stonewash, and then a pop of mokutai, right? And then on this you have the all black and white pop of mokutai. I just don't think, you know, I know some people ordered it, so I'm interested to see what it looks like. I think it'll work, but might not be, you know, the coolest looking thing. So I don't think I will do it. Maybe I will. You never know. This one, man, holy cow. I don't think I Loctited this one, though. I mean, it's super tight, but can check, see if they did the Loctite. This one just is on stock bearings, by the way. Yes, yeah, that's pretty tight. One other thing I would do if I got one of these, I didn't do it on every one I QC'd, obviously, but you can tighten this just a touch with a stubby. But you got to be careful, obviously. I don't know what that changes or anything, but I'm just like superstitious about steel lock bar inserts. Look at the action on this one. Look at that. Here, listen to that click. So you got two clickers and it's more of a thud. So I prefer a click, but not, they're OEM knives. Not every knife is going to be the same. So it's just how it goes. And there's the lineup, guys. These are the 3 scale options we have, and of course they all come in stonewash or blackwash. One thing I want to try at some point is take a hardware kit from a black one and put it on this one and just see how that would look, like all blacked out hardware with black micarta. Or if you had a stonewash version of this or this and you took a black hardware kit, I guess you'd have to buy 2 to do that, but I don't know, it'd be kind of fun, I think. So, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think down below. I truly, and we appreciate the support so much, guys. It's incredible. Like I said, we will have some up on the website at some point. They will not be the same price as the pre-order price. You will not get all the stuff you got with the pre-order. That's just kind of, we wanted to give those people a benefit. And the benefit is they saved, $20. They got some extra little goodies, maybe a face hank. And, that's, I think, the best way to do it. But we also are a business, and we also have to make money, so we want to sell more knives. So we ordered more. So, I get the whole pre-order thing, and a lot of people get mad when there's a drop right away. I used to be one of those, but now I totally understand it. As a business, you need to make money. So, of course, you're going to have more knives and then sell them. So, we will do a drop. But first, we're going to make sure you guys all get your stouts. And, all of that. And then we'll worry about that stuff. So, anyway, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Truly appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. I apologize for rambling. I'm just super excited and all that good stuff. So, hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. I love you all. And I will catch you later.